Donald Trump using his office to assassinate a political opponent, if he's not impeached for it, would you defend against any prosecution as Solicitor General?
The hypothetical you've offered respectfully is so outlandish, I don't know if I'm in a position to address it.
Well, you addressed it for the court, but you won't address it for the country in this hearing?
I think I've just said exactly the same response that I gave
Okay, then
the court,
exactly the same response is that you would evidently defend him against prosecution for that. Let me move on to the last question.
What's up, America Patriots? Welcome back to the channel where common sense is still alive. Coffee is strong, and the Constitution is even stronger. Before we dive in, make sure you hit subscribe, smash that like button, and drop a comment below because YouTube's algorithm treats Patriot voices like they're the last slice of pizza at a kid's party. It tries to hide them. So if you want more truth, more laugh, and more actual logic, subscribing helps this channel stay visible in a world full of noise. All right. Today we're reacting to Senator Adam Schiff grilling John Sauer like he's running a barbecue pit. Let's get into it.
And with that, Senator Schiff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Sauer, you've served as one of the President's defense lawyers. Should cases arise in the Justice Department involving the same cases in which you represented him, will you recuse yourself?
Senator, thank you for the question. As reflected in the ethics agreement that I have signed and in the regulations of the Department of Justice, as to any matter that were to come before me that might require a recusal obligation, I would consult with the Department of Justice ethics officials and follow my recusal obligations.
So you'll consult with the career ethics lawyers at the department?
Yes, that's correct.
You are aware, of course, that the career ethics officials at the department have been fired, demoted, transferred. They no longer exist. The two people in that office are one of your fellow criminal defense lawyers of Donald Trump and a political appointee who graduated from law school just a few years ago. They don't exist. So who are you going to consult? Are you going to go to one of his other criminal defense lawyers to find out if you should recuse yourself?
Senator, I'm not aware of any personnel actions that you've described, so I can't speak directly to those. I've just recently been through a process where I was consulting closely with a career DOJ
I'll tell you,
ethics
Mr. Sauer, those actions have taken place. And the two appointees are political appointees. The people who will make the recusal recommendations to you are political appointees. One was Mr. Bove's former chief of staff. The other was a fellow criminal defense lawyer for Donald Trump. If that's who you're going to for recusal advice, no one can have confidence that that judgment will be made properly. But let me move on to another question. You took the position as Donald Trump's lawyer that he could order SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political opponent and not be prosecuted for it unless he was impeached first. Should the president order the use of violence against a political appointment, will that continue to be your position as the lawyer for the United States? Will you represent to the court that any prosecution should be dismissed if the president is not first impeached?
Senator, I believe the exchange that you're referring to, which occurred during oral argument in the D.C. Circuit in that presidential immunity decision, I was asked a question about that, and what I responded was that the president may be prosecuted for an action like that, but under the plain language of the impeachment judgment clause, he must be first impeached and convicted by the Senate.
And as the judge in that argument made clear, that means your position is he cannot be prosecuted unless he's impeached first. So he can order the use of his office to use violence against a political opponent, and you would defend his ability to do that in any criminal prosecution unless he's impeached. Is that your testimony?
I believe this situation came up with respect to a real-world example.
Well, I'm giving you...
If I may?
I'm giving you... Yes. You'll answer my question.
Yes, I believe I am answering the question. President Obama ordered the essential killing of U.S. citizens located abroad by drone strike. And my colleague on the other side of that case was
my question is not about President Obama and using a drone strike against a terrorist. My question is Donald Trump using his office to assassinate a political opponent. If he's not impeached for it, would you defend against any prosecution as Solicitor General?
The hypothetical you've offered respectfully is so outlandish, I don't know if I'm in a position to address it.
Well, you addressed it for the court, but you won't address it for the country in this hearing?
I think I've just said exactly the same response that I gave
Okay, then
the court,
exactly the same response is that you would evidently defend him against prosecution for that. Let me move on to the last question. The department moved to dismiss a corruption case against the mayor of New York. The acting Southern District of New York U.S. attorney refused to undertake an action that she believed was deeply unethical. So then it fell on her number two, Hagen Scotton, to do the dirty deed of dismissing this case. This is what he said. Any assistant U.S. attorney would know our laws and traditions do not allow using the prosecutorial power to influence other citizens, much less elected officials, in this way. If no lawyer with an earshot of the president is willing to give him that advice, then I expect you will eventually find someone who is enough of a fool or enough of a coward to file your motion, but it was never going to be me. My question to you, Mr. Sauer, is, would that be you?
Would
that be you if it fell to you to dismiss that case? Would you be the coward or fool willing to dismiss that case on behalf of the president?
I certainly can't speak to any official action that I might or might not take in a hypothetical scenario. I will say that there was a distressing lack of letters like this during the weaponization of justice.
Well, there is a disturbing presence of letters like this, and your answer tells me that it would be you. My colleagues have praised your legal skills. I have no doubt about your knowledge of the law. But to me, you can't be a good lawyer if you use the law to subvert the law, if you use our system to undermine our system. And I'm deeply afraid that's what you've done, and that's what you will do in this position. I yield back.
Let me say to the three of you, thank you for agreeing to serve our nation. Thank you for going to the Department of Justice. I will.
Okay, so right off the bat, Schiff comes in hotter than a California tax rate, throwing accusations around like confetti at a parade. He's asking John Sauer about recusal issues, ethics offices, who fired who moved offices. Honestly, it sounded like I was listening to someone complain about HR at a Walmart. And Sauer? Man sitting there calm, cool, collected. Like a lawyer who's had to explain that's not actually what the law says about 4,000 times in his career. Respect. Then Schiff starts talking about ethics officials being gone, missing, vanished into thin air. I'm sitting here like, buddy, this is a Senate hearing, not an episode of CSI. And when Schiff asks, who will you consult for recusal advice? Sauer basically says, the appropriate people, which is a polite lawyer version of sir, please chill. Then, oh boy, Schiff goes full drama mode. He brings up this wild hypothetical about a president ordering SEAL Team 6 to take out the political rival. I mean, what? That's not even a hypothetical. That's a Netflix plot they would reject for being too unrealistic. Sauer tries politely to remind him that law is based on actual statutes, not sci-fi scripts. But Schiff keeps pushing like he's auditioning for a courtroom TV show. Sauer references legal precedent, constitutional language, impeachment clauses, real stuff. Schiff responds like Sauer, just read him IKEA furniture instructions. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Well, maybe it should be Senator. And then Schiff tries to corner him again. Would you defend that? Would you dismiss this? Are you the fool or the coward? Hold up. Did he really just say that in a Senate hearing? My man is out here giving superhero movie monologue energy. Meanwhile, Sauer is sitting there like your polite neighbor who came to borrow a lawnmower and accidentally wandered into a telenovela. Sauer refuses to take the bait. And thank goodness. The country doesn't need dramatic political theater. It needs lawyers who actually understand the Constitution. Schiff clearly wanted a viral clip. Sauer gave him a civics lesson instead. Then Schiff ends with, you can't be a good lawyer if you use the law to subvert the law. Which is funny, considering that Sauer is the only one in that exchange actually referencing the law. Look, whether you agree with Sauer or not, the guy knows the Constitution better than most senators. Low bar, but still. He stayed professional while Schiff was throwing rhetorical fastballs from another dimension. Anyway, America Patriots, that's my take. Schiff came in swinging with hypotheticals from Mars, and Sauer handled it like a seasoned pro who actually reads the Constitution, instead of just name-dropping it during campaign season. If you enjoyed this breakdown, or if you just enjoy watching me try to stay sane while politicians, do whatever that was, Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Drop a comment. Do you think Sauer held his ground? Do you think these hearings are actual oversight or just political theater? I want to hear what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay strong, stay free, and stay patriotic. This is America Patriots, signing out.